despite Standing Order 310. Call on members of Order of the Day number 2.
Customs and Excise Prohibition of Imports Made by Slave Labour Amendment Bill interrupted debate on first reading.
When last debated, Mark Mitchell was speaking. He has 3 minutes remaining to speak.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's a pleasure to finish my call on the Customs Excise Prohibition of Imports Made by Slave Labour Amendment Bill. Just want to acknowledge the sponsor of the bill again, Mr Henare, someone who I personally have a lot of respect for. Well, that's outstanding. That goes without saying. But I just wanted to say that the spirit of the bill is right, because I think we'd all agree in this House that we want to see human trafficking and slavery rubbed out right throughout the world. The problem is with this bill is that it's just too wide in its interpretation, and we live in a world now that's got a sophisticated, complicated global supply chain. And the real challenge would be for us is to identify and say what products from what country may have been produced or are part of, or thank you very much, Mr Speaker, slave labour has contributed to the production of that item. And just a very quick example of that, Mr Speaker, would be sugar. So sugar, if it was an at-risk product, it's produced in many countries around the world. We don't know whether or not slave labour has been used to produce it in some of those countries. Maybe there's a strong chance that it has been, but the fact of the matter is, if we are in New Zealand, to try and ban products being sold and people having access to those products that have sugar in them, you could see the challenge that we'd be presented with in terms of how we would ban those products. So, although I think the spirit of it, and I congratulate the spirit of the bill, in a practical sense, this bill cannot be used to, in any real meaningful way to try and combat or identify products that have actually been produced or manufactured with the use of slave labour. Thank you very much, Mr Speaker.